get this TBR filmed before my parents bring my daughter home? Find out today on Dragon Ball Z. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sarah, and today is a delayed, I feel like this is becoming a habit, February TBR. I'm going to go over everything that I have on my little list that I want to read. I'm going to scoot over a little because I'm going to try and put it here. This is ambitious. Yes, it is for a what's the word I want? Historically bad TBR reader. This is ambitious, but here we go. We're going to try going straight into it because I am on a time crunch. The first three I have are my 3 March arcs, unless something new has come in. These are the only 3 I have on NetGalley for March, so hopefully I can get through all of these. The first of these is The Floating Hotel by Grace Curtis. This is one of my most anticipated books. I don't know what it's about, but it's by Grace Curtis, who wrote Frontier, and I loved that one last year, so I'm extremely excited to give this one a try. The title and the cover just sound fantastic. The next one is the 3rd Mead Mishaps book. That's the series name. It's called That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. Saved a Human. This used to be That Time I Got Drugged and Saved a Dragon, I think. But they changed the title because we could talk about getting drunk, but not drugged on titles, evidently. And this one follows the other dragon from the first book. So our main male love interest in the first book was a dragon, and then we meet another dragon in that book. I think this is about that dragon. I'm not sure who the female love interest is. I have a suspicion, but I don't know yet. We'll see. And the final one for March is from Tachyon, and it's These Fragile Graces, This Fugitive Heart, and this is by Izzy. Let me look real close. Wasterstein? It's a very cool cyberpunk sort of cover. I remember being very interested in the summary, but I can't tell you anything about it right now. But I do remember it is a novella. I believe it is a novella, so this should be a pretty quick read. The next 3, I have these broken into categories for us, are my leftover February arcs. So these are arcs that I didn't get to last month. I got to almost all of my arcs, except for these 3. The first is A Flame in the North by Lilith St. Crow. I'm starting with this one because I'm actually reading this one right now, and I'm really, really enjoying it. It's long, but I'm really enjoying it. It's a Viking fantasy about a young woman who is a full-fledged sort of sorcerer for her people, and she is given to another clan as I can see the word in my head, but I'm not going to try to pronounce it because I'll do it wrong. But her brother killed a man, and she is meant to go with that man's clan for a year and a day to make up for that loss. So she goes with them, but she's starting to realize there's more going on, and I'm really, really excited to see where this goes. This deals a lot with like Norse kind of Viking mythology, but in a fantasy world. I'll report back more. Starting to think this might be a 5-star. We'll see. The next one that I have not read is A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen, which actually, now that I'm thinking about it, is also a Norse/Viking fantasy. So I'll probably try to get to this one, maybe in a book or 2 to spread those out. This is a romantasy specifically, and I have not read Danielle L. Jensen, but I have wanted to. I'm really interested in her Bridge Kingdom series. I just haven't picked it up, and I saw this one up and thought it would be a good time to give it a shot. Try one of her new books. The last February arc that I have left over is Red Sight, and this is by Meredith Mooring. This one, I believe, is like the space cult one. Don't remember much else. Very cool, kind of creepy-esque, magic, spacey cover. We'll see. I like the little tagline on the top of it. It says, "Heresy is power and chaos is divine." I have a D&D player who would very much agree with that. Yeah, his whole plan is just chaos. They will cause all of the chaos. Anyway, 2 old arcs that I would like to try to get to this month are The Stars Undying by Emery Lord, which is, if I recall correctly, a like Cleopatra sort of Julius Caesar retelling. One of the 2 in space. I've started it, but I've not gotten very far. It's one that I'm really super interested in. It looks very cool, and I think the sequel was announced maybe? It's been a hot minute. It's been sitting on my Kindle. I just haven't got to it. And I finally have a physical copy of The Sword Defiant by Gareth, Hannahan. I have a video somewhere of how to say his name. I need to look at that. This has a talking sword in it. I love talking swords. I have a D&D character that has a talking sword, and so I really love talking swords. It's a trope that just, I am in. Take me. I want to read it. The last arc that I have, I believe, is for Shami. I really gotta look up how to say her name again. Shami Stovall's new book. It comes out in March. I think she said it comes out in March. It's Time Marked Warlock. And this is about a warlock turned PI who I believe has retired but is now back on the case. He has a missing sister or something that he is looking for. I don't remember a lot of details. I just remember when she posted for her ARC team sign up, I jumped at the chance because I really like this sort of hairy dress and sort of esque flavor. It's up the street. The rest of what I have is mostly just I wanna a pile of possibilities sort of thing. Actually, before we talk about those, let's talk about obligation reads. So this is stuff I want to read because I want to go to a live show or take part in a book club. The first is the Radiance trilogy by Grace Draven. This is Radiance, Readalong, and the Ipos King. This is a completed trilogy, I believe. I have read Radiance before, so this will be a reread and it'll be very quick. But I haven't read the other two, and I would like to finish it. This is for the Wraith King's Readalong over on Instagram, which I'll try to link the post down below. I also have Eva Evergreen, the Semi-Magical Witch. I actually have a physical copy of that over there. That is for the Black Hat Book Coven on YouTube. I will link them down below. I saw Kristen Crave's books was talking about reading this one, and I love her channel. I love her books. And so I spotted that, and I was like, oh god, I have that on my TBR. So I'm going to read that and try to take part in a live show at the end of the month. The other two, the other two, because the third one down here, I have already DNF'd. True Grit by Charles Portis. Not for me. Just simply not for me. I found it every bit of this painful. From the writing style itself to the language, the idea behind it. This book, no thank you. No thank you. I don't really partake of Westerns in any format these days, just because there's a whole, like, that genre's just not for me anymore, but, it's weird. I grew up with Western TV. It was fine. Enjoyed some of it. But books, probably not for me. Moving on. I have, oh, they're right here. Look at this. Oh, no! My dice. There we go. I have my Book of the Month books, which I didn't realize this when I got these. I swear, I didn't realize this. It turned out to be the Ross box. I got 2 Rebecca Ross books in Book of the Month completely unintentionally. So I got the infamous Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross that everyone either absolutely loves or hates. So we're gonna give it a try. It's a epistolary novel, if I am correct. I love epistolary novels, so that will be a quick read for me if it is good. And I got A River Enchanted, which is a fantasy about a young man who returns to his home, like, magical island, to solve the disappearances of some women and girls. That sounded great. I didn't like any of their picks for this month, or last month for that matter. I actually skipped last month and got 2 this month because I didn't like last month's, I didn't like this month's, so I got A River Enchanted and Divine Rivals. So that's like the obligation type reads that I'm going to try to do for a reason. I want to get Book of the Month books read, and I want to go to those live shows for the others. And the rest of these are the ones that I will pick from for, like, just because I want to. I don't have any, like, super intense need to read these or something to go to. And with Black History Month upon us, I thought it would be important to point this out. We should be reading outside of our own experiences. Just throwing it out there. I have Make a Scene by Mimi Grace. This is a romance, I think, yes, Books in Lala. She read the 3rd book and really enjoyed it. And I have seen a few other people that I really like have read this series and enjoyed it. I don't know if Heather read these or if it was Robin. Somebody read these and enjoyed them. And they had been on my radar to begin with. I love their covers. So I figured I'll put them on this month's TBR and finally get to them. I'm going to continue a series I started last month, 2 series I started last month. The first of these is the Christina C. Jones series. I think this one's called the Love Sisters series. And the one I'm going to read is I Think I Need You. This is a surprise pregnancy novel about a woman who is, let's see, I read the first few pages and I realized, I think she's like a fitness guru. She finds out she's pregnant and her best friend, I believe, starts to step in and help her. I don't know if he's the dad. I haven't looked at the synopsis that closely. I just loved the first one, so I went into the second one. I will report back once I know. I also have Made to Love by Alexandria House. This is the second book in the series that started with Higher Love, which I also read last month. Really enjoyed that one. This one I think is about her super messy friend. Sorry, that sounded mean, but her friend relationship was really messy. And I think it's about that friend, her long time on and off again boyfriend. We find out at the end is at the end of Higher Love is a real poop head, real turd. And this is her story, and I'm very excited to see where that goes. I have Bones to the Wind by Tatiana Obey, another one that I have had on my radar, my TBR, for a long time. I loved Sister Samurai, which I think is right there. Yes, I loved, let me pull it out, Sister Samurai last year. One of my best books of the year, so I'm going to get to her full series, or her, I don't know if it's completed or it's ongoing, her current series. And this is the first book in that one. I am currently listening to the third Criminal Intentions, The Man with the Glass Eye by Cole McCade. I love this series. I need to continue it. I actually got my best friend to read it, and she binged through it this past like a week. I think she's in season 2 already, and I'm still on book 3. So first off, good job me, but also bad job me. I need to get to this. This is a series following 2 investigators who solve crimes, and we start to develop a pattern, and there is like an overarching nemesis pop up. It's very good. Super slow burn romance. All the characters are people of color. They're queer in some way. There's a lot of diversity, a lot of talk about police force, the problems inherent therein. And Cole McCade writes from the perspective of someone who grew up in a family with 2 parents who were in the force. So it's a very good series. It has a lot to say, but it's also just really, really fun and really well written. Fantastic. Another one that I have, I don't know a lot about, but I do believe this is a paranormal romance, and that is The Fall That Saved Us by Tamara Jerry. I had the sample downloaded for this months ago. I remember, in fact, we were actually at Hilton Head Island, and I was in the back seat sitting with my sleeping kid, and I was downloading book samples to try, and this was one that I downloaded, and I read a few pages and enjoyed it, and so I had it just kind of lingering there. I think I'll finally pick this one up because I need some more like fantasy on this list. And the last few are just ones that have been on my like cart on my TBR for a while. I have Tadek and the Princess, Tadek, I can't remember how you say his name, by Alexandra Rowland. This is the follow-up to, oh no, A Taste of Iron and Gold? Gold and Iron? I can't remember how the title goes. Loved that book 2 years ago when it came out. Fantastic book. Was it 2 years ago at this point? It wasn't last year. I think it was the year before, because I think it was in my best books of the year before. Love that book, and this is the kind of follow-up novella to that. It's very short. It's up on my TBR card. I have the physical version of it, so it'll be a really quick read when I do get to it. I have The Traitor by Anthony Ryan. This is the final book in the Covenant of Steel series that started with The Martyr. This is about a young man who starts out as a thief and a rogue, an outlaw, and then becomes wrapped up in a holy war with a woman who sees visions. But the question is are her visions true, and are her visions actually good visions that we should be believing? Fantastic series. I am loving it. I'm very excited to see how it ends. The last 2 are Always Only You by Chloe Leese. I think that said Leese. I've seen people say it other ways, so I could be wrong. This is another contemporary romance series, and this is the Bergman Brothers series. I have almost all of these now in physical, and I am trying to read through them. I just haven't made good progress on that. Clearly, this is the second book, so I want to get to this. They're very quick reads. I'll be able to read this in a day or 2. I might slip this in between some of my arcs that I have to read. And the final book is Northern Wrath by Tilde Cold Holt. Another Viking Norse fantasy. Completely unintentionally put 3 on this TBR. this was the Broken Binding book for this month. I have it somewhere over there. There it is. I got the first Broken Binding book a few weeks ago. I want to read these as they come in, so I need to get this read. The second book will probably be coming in another week, and they look so beautiful together. I don't know anything about them. There's giant polar bears. If the artwork that the Broken Binding posted to their Instagram is any indication, so that's exciting. But I want to get these read. I have the Kindle edition to read so that I have them nice and lined up on the shelf and I actually know what they're about. That's it. Like I said, super ambitious. I'm not gonna beat myself up. That's how you say that. For not getting some of this read. The only ones that I absolutely want to read for serious, are the arcs. So that's the first, like, what, 9 books is easy. I have, of course, read 2 books this month, and neither one of them are on this TBR. They're actually leftovers from last month's TBR, so it's okay. But that is it. That's what I have. Let me know if y'all are gonna read any of these. What are your thoughts? Are you taking part in any of these, like, live shows, the book club or the live show that's going on? I'd like to know. And thanks so much for watching, guys. It looks like I did get this done before my daughter came home, so yay me. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you then. Bye.